So, what if you could build a profitable AI startup in just 30 days? I know, it sounds a little crazy, right? Well, today, we're going to break down a playbook for 2026 and beyond, and it comes from a founder who actually did it, turning a simple idea into a massive company, and fast. $215 million. Let that sink in for a second. That's the valuation an AI video startup called Opus Clip hit in just 2.5 years. So yeah, when its co-founder and CEO, Wang Yang, lays out a playbook, we listen. He's clearly figured some things out. And this really gets to the core problem we're tackling today. The rules have totally changed. That easy win, gold rush feeling from 2023, it's over. Everybody knows about AI now. The competition is just fierce. So how on earth does a new founder break through all that noise and actually win? To figure that out, we've broken this down into 5 key parts. First, we'll cover the new rules of the game. Then, we'll talk about the right mindset you need. After that, a tactical 30-day plan. Then, we'll get into how to spot the opportunities everyone else is missing. And we'll wrap up with the one skill that'll keep you ahead of the curve no matter what. Okay, first things first. The new rules of AI. You know, just a couple years ago, you could just build a cool little demo, call it the ChatGPT for X, and boom, you might go viral. That strategy? It's dead. The market is just way too saturated now, and honestly, users are a lot smarter. You need a real plan.
And here is the most critical new rule. Young calls this being AGI pilled. What that means is you have to assume that the big foundation models, from Google, from OpenAI, are going to get way, way better, really fast. You have to predict what they'll be able to do in a few months. Because if you build a feature that Gemini can just do in its next update, your startup is toast. You can't build for today, you have to build for tomorrow.
And that leads right into this huge mindset shift. You have to stop building cool demos that just look like magic. It's time to start building mission-critical businesses that solve a real, painful problem. And you can really feel the difference here. A cool demo, yeah, it gets you a wow, but nobody's reaching for their wallet. A real business, on the other hand, it solves a problem so annoying that people are already trying to fix it with some messy, manual process. When you show them your solution, their first question isn't, oh, how's that work? It's, okay, where do I put my credit card info? Look at how Opus Clip got started. Before they even had a website, they were just manually making clips for people. Then they built a simple Discord bot, and they knew they were onto something real when people started complaining. Seriously, they were complaining that the queue was too long or that they were hitting their usage limits. And those complaints? That was the best signal they could ask for. It meant people couldn't live without it. And this quote, it just nails the whole entrepreneurial spirit. You don't have to be passionate about the thing itself, whether it's clipping videos or making widgets. Your passion has to be for solving the problem, for being a builder, for changing the game. That's the fuel that gets you through everything else. Okay, so the mindset is locked in. Now, let's get tactical. This is the 30-day launch plan. It's a concrete, actionable framework to get you from an idea to a real thing in your first month. It all starts with obsession. For 2 straight weeks, your only job is to become an expert on one user in a very specific niche. Then, in just a few days, you build a quick and dirty proof of concept. It just has to show the final result. Get that in front of people and ask them what they would actually pay for it. And this is key. From day one, you have to be thinking about your data moat and how you're actually going to find customers. The whole thing is about validating, not just building blindly. Which brings us to our next big idea. Find your boring niche. This is where the real gold is hiding now. All the cool, sexy markets, they're packed with competition. The real opportunity is in the industries that everyone else thinks are too boring to even look at. But first, a huge word of warning. Do not build something that's just a feature for a giant platform that already exists. Think about building like an AI note taker for video calls. Why is that a bad idea? Because you're playing in Zoom's sandbox with Zoom's customers. It is so easy for them to just build that feature themselves and completely wipe you out overnight.
So how do you find a good idea? Run it through these 3 simple tests. First, the niche test. Can you slice your market down even smaller? Keep going. Second, the boring test. Is the industry kind of uncool? Do other founders ignore it? Perfect, that's a great sign. And third, the service test. Are people already paying humans, like agencies or freelancers, to do this manually? If the answer is yes, you've just found a massive validation that the pain is real.
And that leads us to our final section. And honestly, it might be the most important one. It's about the future-proof skill. As AI just keeps getting better and better at doing the actual work, what's our edge? What's left for us humans to do? Well, the reality is, the barrier to creating anything is just dissolving. AI is giving everyone a superpower to produce high-quality stuff, whether it's video or code or anything else. So your raw technical skill, your ability to do the work, isn't really a competitive advantage anymore.
Think about it this way. 10 years ago, your advantage came from being willing to do the dirty work, spending 6 grueling hours editing a single video. Today, AI does that in seconds. The analogy Young uses is perfect. Basically, everyone can drive a car now, but there are still Formula One drivers. The baseline is just so much higher, which means your new advantage has to come from your thinking, your strategy, and your uniqueness.
So what does that leave us with? It means the single most valuable human skill in the age of AI is storytelling. AI can be your co-founder, your thinking partner, your entire production crew, but it can't be you. Your unique story, your unique tone, your unique message, that's the last real mode. That's the one thing that can't be copied.
So, we'll end on this thought. In a world where AI can do pretty much any of the work you throw at it, the most important question you have to answer is, what is the one unique story, the one vision that only you can tell? Because that is your real competitive advantage.